What's up, everybody? Doc 1985. There's levels to this. Welcome to another episode of 30-minute sessions with Doc. If you would like to be part of this live stream, go ahead and become a channel member, and you will be able to interact with me live whenever I do these 30-minute sessions. For those of you that are catching this on the recording, I appreciate you being here. Sit back and enjoy the show. Yes, baby, how may I help you? Have my daughters standing awkwardly there looking at me as I'm trying to do this live stream of this podcast, but that's the beautiful thing about this, okay? So, let me see. Let's see, how do we begin this? How do we tackle this? 30-minute session with Doc. Xbox dead in 2027. So I made that video the other day and asking people when, and I saw one comment, somebody saying 2027, that's when Phil said, and that came back from that leaked document where they spoke about that if they don't reach their goals or whatever by 2027, no, there's no garbage bag, just throw it in there. We're gonna have to get garbage bags. I don't know what to tell you. But if they don't have if they don't reach their goals by 2027, that they were gonna freaking decide that they were gonna be out 2027. So it's 2027 the date. So let's talk about that. We are about to enter 2024, which means if the goal is by 2027, we would still have all of 2024, all of 2025, and all of 2026. That is 3 years of Xbox still being relevant in the console space. Now, I gotta be honest with you. I think that even if they do reach their subscription service goal or whatever it is, there could still be a possibility that next gen console is not a thing. It all really depends what Xbox's strategy is looking like and if it's actually working for them. I'll be honest with you. To me, I feel like they are sending a little bit of mixed signals to me as a Series X owner. You see, that's the problem. If you're a Series X owner, you are sitting in a weird place right now because you have a machine that you know is very powerful. However, they're not really utilizing it. What have we really seen that has been able to utilize the full potential of the Xbox Series X? And who knows, maybe we won't get to see that till the end, towards the end of it. But we know they got to support DS until the end. And here's the reality. Yo, what's up, brown coat? Here's the reality. The reality is that there's a lot of benefit to Xbox's strategy right now. There really is. The strategy of supporting the Series S is, and I made videos about this before, is what is allowing all these games to be able to be played on these handheld PCs. It's almost as if once the Xbox Series S came out, these handheld PCs were like, okay, now it's our turn. Now, boom, now it's our turn. Because if it runs on an Xbox Series S, it's going to be able to run on these handhelds. I'm telling you right now, if it runs on the Xbox Series S, it's going to be able to run on these handhelds. At least that's the way I'm seeing it so far right now. Is the Xbox Series S more powerful than these handhelds? Well, that depends how you want to see it. These handhelds are PCs, so you have a lot more options to opening options and shadows and turning them off and doing all types of stuff to make the game run pretty much however you want to run. You can drop the resolutions, all that other stuff. But there is a base that they have to hit, and hitting that base is really, really nice. I'm not gonna lie, hitting that base is really nice. So I don't know, man. 2027 though. The end of Xbox. Is it how much does that hurt, I guess? It's too far out in the future if you ask me. If you ask me, it's too far out in the future. I say we enjoy gaming right now. We don't worry about what's going to happen in 3 years. We worry about what's happening right now, because every single year we're going to have more information towards exactly what happens. every single year we're going to be able to see more and more whether or not Xbox's strategy is working or what fully their strategy is. Right now is a little bit of mixed messaging. Okay, listen, the CFO said what the CFO said, and then Phil Spencer said what he said. Okay, but I don't see a scenario where Xbox wins by not putting their games everywhere. Does that make sense? I don't see it. I don't see a scenario where Xbox wins by not putting their games everywhere. Oh man. The only thing that gives me hope, baby, can you do me a favor? Can you give me that headset right there? Yeah, thank you. I'm not listening to anything. I'm just gonna put them on to block out the outside noise. Perfect. Okay, the only thing that gives me hope as far as Xbox still having a console next generation is when I look at everything else they do, everything else Microsoft does outside of freaking gaming. So right now I'm live streaming this podcast for my channel members on my Surface Pro, right, which is a Xbox, or not Xbox, a Microsoft product. I could be doing this on any other PC, but this is the PC that Microsoft actually provides. So even though they don't have to, they do provide their own hardware. And that makes a difference. What's up, Purple? It's not about Xbox win or loss. It's about Xbox fans losing, as they say it wouldn't go third party. And you see, Purple, I appreciate you saying that. I don't get an Xbox fan right now that's saying Xbox won't go third party when they are literally a third party publisher already. I think the problem is when the Sony fan base makes it seem as if Xbox is going to go full third party. That I don't think they'll do. That I don't think, meaning or they'll go full third party but won't have their own ways of you consuming game, meaning like their own device. I don't think I don't think that'll happen. I think Xbox will always have an Xbox. That's just my belief. Now, what will that Xbox look like? Again, I keep shouting out my big bro, Puerto Rock 77, because I think he had the best take when it comes to this. He's mentioned something that there's just gonna be something that's an entryway for you to game, just one SKU, one device for you to be able to game if you want to use an Xbox to game, if you don't want to game on another platform. There it is. Now the reality is that Xbox did try to put Game Pass on PlayStation and it failed, right? That came out, that got leaked as well, right? And that was because PlayStation said no. The question is, in the near future, if PlayStation says yes or comes to Microsoft and says, okay, put a Game Pass on it, well, Xbox do it then. I don't see why they wouldn't. Doc, people have been, Browncoat says, Doc, people have been saying Xbox will end since 2013, and I think they will move away from hardware in the next 10 years. In the next 3, I see it focusing more on streaming. I could see that. Oh yeah, everyone but Nintendo is already third party. Facts, Browncoat. Purple says, I equate it to sports. Like it's not an L for a sports team to make the playoff and lose. They still make money, but the fans will lose, as they said they would win the championship. Oh, okay. So Purple's talking about bragging rights. Purple's talking about bragging rights. Yeah, you know what? Actually, somebody said that in another one of my videos. I asked, what was the L? Where's the L coming from if Xbox was to not make consoles anymore and all their games were able to be played on all the other platforms? Because to me, as a gamer, I feel like if I only had to buy one box to play everything, or at least 2 boxes, because Nintendo's not going to do that, right? If I only had to buy 2 boxes and have access to everything that I have right now, man, that would be ideal. Yo, Harold, what's up, man? I was actually asking about you last stream, Harold. I appreciate you stopping by, brother. But yeah, so Purple, you're absolutely right. Somebody said it's not an L, it's an L for the fanboys. It's just console war bragging rights, right? Which then leads me to the video that I made today about Nintendo showing Xbox the winning strategy. Sony fanboys have been saying it as well. There is no console war, and that's true. There's no more console war. If you're comparing consoles and you're gonna compare as far as what is the better console experience, you could go ahead and write this down right now. I'm about to say it. What is the better console experience between the Xbox Series X and the PS5? The only reason, in my humble opinion, the Xbox Series X even stands a chance against the PS5 is because of Game Pass. It's it. But if you're strictly a console gamer, right, then it's going to be subjective as to what games you like to play best, right? What games you like to play more. But Game Pass is what puts the Series X or the Series S over the edge, because the games that you would like on Xbox, you don't have to purchase them. That is a W to me. But as far as what games, every single first party game on the PS5 is keeping that promise of 60 frames. Every single one. This is a fact that can't be denied. Okay. I would argue that Sony has not made an ugly looking game yet. I would argue that as well. They have not made all their games look phenomenal, look beautiful. Okay. And they run great. Right. The only thing is, how much fun are you having with those games? Okay. God of War Ragnarok, for instance, for me, this is not for everybody, but for me, I just got bored. I couldn't finish it. Okay. And that's not an Xbox or PlayStation thing. I couldn't finish Redfall either. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I don't do anymore. The last game that I pushed myself to finish was Grand Theft Auto 4. And after I beat that game, I told myself I will never do that again. I don't care how many hours I have in a game. If I get to a point where that's it, I can't finish the game, I just can't finish the game. Now, I'll give the respect where the respect is due. I won't say that God of War Ragnarok is a bad game. It was just a game that wasn't able to keep my interest. So I'm not going to be a hypocrite like everybody. Like I talk trash about people that play Starfield for 50 hours and then say that the game is bad. Like that to me doesn't make sense. How could you play a bad game for that long? You know what I mean? Bronco said, I think next gen Xbox will look like something that can run current and previous gen Xbox natively and next gen games in the cloud. Ooh, that's actually not a bad idea. Okay, I could see that. So essentially, it would just be a Series X, right? Or a Series S. A Series X or S right now can run current gens and last gen and previous gens natively, right? And then it'd just be able to run the next gen on cloud. So like an Xbox One S right now could do that. Xbox One S right now could do that. If you have an Xbox One S and you have an Game Pass, that's essentially what you're saying the future looks like, right? Very interesting. Harold said just been busy with finals, but Christmas break is next week. Okay, that's what's up, bro. I hope you do well. Bronco Loki says, I hate that PS Store and a controller. I like the offset thumbsticks, and it's the only one store that I routinely lags. Yeah, so I did say that, Bronco. The one thing that I would want if Game Pass came to PlayStation, right, I would be okay only having one box, meaning if they're having just a PlayStation. But I would want to be able to use my Elite controllers and my Xbox controllers on the PlayStation. That's the one thing that I definitely would want, for sure. Okay. Now, the other thing that Xbox does have on its hands is the ecosystem. The ecosystem definitely helps, you know. The ecosystem definitely helps. We're just talking about people thinking that Xbox is going to die in 2027, Juju. That's what they're saying. Why? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure why they think that, but it's almost like they have wishful thinking, but it is what it is. Yeah. When let me read Harold's comments. And when you mean Xbox in the title, you mean the console or the platform? Oh, that's good, Harold. I probably should clarify that. It's the console. The platform is not gonna die. You don't spend all that money. You don't put all that money into cloud gaming to have the platform itself die. Not at all. Not at all. Purple Haze says, good on you. Pushing through games that don't have your interest is what leads to burnout. Yeah, Purple. Yeah, I did that with Grand Theft Auto 4, and it was rough. I forced myself to finish it because I felt like I was so deep into it, and then I finally beat it, and I was disappointed in the ending, and I felt like I just wasted a large amount of time. So now, whenever I play a game, I'll play it, and if it keeps my interest, I'll keep playing it. Once it doesn't, then I won't play it anymore. I have a small little confession to make that a lot of people aren't gonna like, but you know what game right now is almost putting me to that point where I'm like, I don't feel like finishing it, and it's a great game, but it's almost like, I don't know if I'm gonna finish it. You're not gonna like this, Purple. Breath of the Wild. Because right now I'm still playing Starfield, even though I beat Starfield. I actually beat Starfield twice. I'm on New Game Plus 2 right now, but I'm still finding new things. And I'm also playing Red Dead Redemption 2. And between those two games, plus, I play Apex Legends, and I'm missing Halo a lot, man. I haven't played Halo in a minute. I gotta get back on Halo. So between all those, it's kind of hard for me to look at Breath of the Wild and be like, I want to continue playing it. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna ever finish Breath of the Wild. But again, I can't say that it's a bad game because I did spend a lot of time playing it. So you know what it is. It is what it is. What's up, Jason? Let's see. Bronco says, "Yep, keep working on that form and work on lowering the price on it." Okay. Let me see. Purple says, "I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but I definitely could see the console side of Xbox dying. It's not that hard to imagine it, really." Yep. Breath of the Wild took me a year to beat. Okay, it is what it is. I have, I, I have to be in a certain frame of mind to play Zelda. Oh, I feel you. So, as a customer, I don't know how it would do us if these three companies, Xbox, PS, and Nintendo, have direct competition. You see, Harold, that's the other thing that we can talk about, speculate, right? I think that if everyone played by the same, you could have a situation where all games are on all platforms, and then you pick the platform based on the features that it has. Like for instance, someone picking the Lenovo Legion Go over the Asus Ally solely based on the bigger screen, the controls, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? If you have a situation like that and everyone's playing by the same rules, then I think it's okay. That is the one reason why I think, like, if Xbox was to put all their games on PlayStation, they would legitimately make their Xbox console obsolete. And I don't know why somebody would pick an Xbox over a PlayStation. But again, it could just be for the Game Pass, or maybe Xbox really is okay being the McDonald's of gaming, being the low entry, easy way to get into gaming. The same way that McDonald's makes a lot of money. It's no 5-star high end restaurant, but I'm sure McDonald's is not complaining. You know what I mean? Maybe Xbox is okay with that. Maybe they took a gamble with Xbox Series X and the Xbox Series S and figured out, okay, whichever one sells the most, that's the way that we're going to go with. And the S is the majority of the install base, I believe, right? And they're like, okay, this is the way that we're actually going to go. That could be a possibility as well. So it's just very curious. It's going to be a very interesting situation in 2023. I think we'll know before 2023 what the plans are, right? I think we will know. People are speculating that Xbox, whenever the PS6 gets revealed, Xbox is not even going to compete with the PS6. And I think at that point we'll know. The only issue is though, man, like Xbox has created a very unique situation that if you're an Xbox fan, you're already used to certain things. Like I'm already used to being able to play Starfield on my console and then being able to play Starfield on my handheld PC just because it's a PC and this cloud saving automatically. I'm already used to being able to play Starfield on GeForce Now as well through Game Pass and the cloud saving. You know what I mean? So all these features have got me spoiled, I guess you could say. You know what I mean? So it makes everything a little bit difficult. I don't know, man. Let's see. As Bronco says, I think the why is they are holding onto the idea. Console sales are king. Oh yeah. That is one that is on the way out. It's Blockbuster versus Netflix again. Yeah, the only issue with that, Bronco, is sometimes you can't do something too early. You know what I'm saying? You can't do something too early. You can't have an idea and try something a little bit too early. I think Xbox though is timing this right now, and if I was a betting man, I would bet on at least one more console. So I don't think that 2027 is going to be actually the end of Xbox, but as far as the console goes, but I think by then we'll definitely know. You know, I'll definitely know. I agree. I am very afraid of any of the big ones going under because right now, three big fish keeping each other in check. Remove one of those fish and it will be a problem. Bro, Nintendo would run wild. I mean, Sony is already running wild. Remakes and remasters? Giving one massive game a year, that's it. One good game a year, that's it. And the fan base is eating it all up. I don't know, man. I just don't think cloud gaming is that popular for them to go with no console at all. Not yet, Harold. For sure, not yet. For sure, not yet. I think though, and this is just me, but I think we're underestimating. I think we're underestimating cloud. That's what I think. But again, I could be wrong. What if Sony's own PS Portal is just them testing out how streaming technology works? You know, how streaming, how people, how willing people are to stream their games. What if that's all there is? They're like, you know what, we can make a nice cheap product. We could grab these old Sony tablets that we had, slap a DualSense controller on it, sell it, and see if our customers are okay with streaming games. And now this thing is sold out, so now they see like, okay, we got something here as well. You know? Who knows, right? I don't know how well the G Cloud did. I don't know how well the Razer Edge did. The Asus ROG Ally, Steam Deck, and the Lenovo Legion Go, all these products are showing that the market is ready for handhelds like this to play AAA games and all this other stuff. They're definitely ready. Nintendo was right about that. The question is, how do we play them? I looked up an article on Asus ROG Ally on one of their blog sites as to how do I get more battery life or whatever. Like just trying to extend the battery life of this thing just before I hopped on the plane or whatever. And one of the things they suggested, the best way for you to get the best battery life on this thing, guess what it was? To play on the cloud. And I'm like, well, yeah, of course, duh. Of course, duh. So it's almost as if like, if right now, playing your game natively is the first option, and playing games on the cloud is like your second to last resort. What if the future, playing the games on the cloud is your first option, and now having to download the game becomes primitive? Like, what if the internet becomes so good, connectivity becomes so good that you would be a fool to download a game if you don't have to? But if for whatever reason there's a storm outside or something's going on, it's not working, like, man, I gotta download this freaking, you know what I mean? And by that point, when technology gets that good, these consoles will be smaller and they'll only need 100 something gig, maybe they'll be 200 gigs, so you could download one large Call of Duty game if need be. But they'll be so reliant on the internet that they won't even worry about that stuff. And even then, now that I think about it, even then, I still don't see not having an actual Xbox. So maybe there will always be a console. Yeah, there will always be a console. Maybe. I don't know. Purple says, I don't see it as competition between three. I just see it as competition between game companies. At the end, there is only so much money most people will spend on games. Well, I'll tell you what, Purple, they keep pushing that number up and having to spend more and more money. That's for sure. Harold says, so you think 2027 most people will be playing in cloud? No, but I think in 2027, 3 years from now, um, more people will be playing in cloud. Not most, more though. Like the only reason I don't rep cloud right now is because my current home we have Xfinity and the neighborhood that I live in and everything. This is just trash. Like just for streaming, this trash is horrible. Not only that, but whenever I go to my Xfinity app, I'm in a house with 5 people. We have 21 devices connected to the router. That's insane, right? Yeah, it's like 20 when my son just went, God damn. Yeah. So we have 2 PS5s, we have 3 Switches, we have 2 Xboxes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Chromebooks, we have 4 phones. No, we have 5 phones, right? So like think about it. All that adds up. My Asus ROG Ally, your Legion Go. I'm talking to my son sitting in the table. So all that stuff is taking up Wi-Fi. All of it. So no matter how good my internet is, that's a lot of devices. And I could go whenever I'm gonna cloud stream and take off everyone's thing off the Wi-Fi. Like you could do that with Xfinity, where you could take people's stuff off the Wi-Fi or whatever. Like you can pause it. But yeah, but I don't. Yeah, Juju said I did it to his iPad, but we don't have good reception here either. So the Wi-Fi is kind of needed, you know. So, but when I was back in Virginia Beach and it was just me by myself and I had fiber internet, yeah, cloud streaming worked great. And that's why when I was back there, that's why I could tell you that xCloud is trash. Because even in that scenario, xCloud was still hit or miss. Stadia was flawless. Oh my lord, yeah, Stadia was flawless. GeForce Now was pretty good too. That's how I played Cyberpunk. When everyone was complaining about Cyberpunk, I played Cyberpunk when it dropped on GeForce Now, and that's before they even had the new tiers or whatever. And I played it fine. It was flawless. It was good. Let me. Oh, Juju said he tried Cyberpunk, but it was too hard. He got stuck in the mission. He got started again, buddy. Let me see. Bronco said, I think they are making it right the right time. That explains all of the buying, and I agree. We are not to the all streaming future yet. That's why I think next gen will look like that. Okay. Yeah, I think Bronco. I think you got a pretty good I think you had a pretty good analogy. But if that's the case, then that means I should be able to keep my Series X and do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I think they are making it. Okay, I read that already. Harold said, but like how many people need to be playing in cloud as their main way they play games for Xbox and not make a console, because cloud seems like something secondary. Yeah, but what if they make a like I could still see them making a console that that's the primary purpose. Does that make sense? Like we already have, like, you don't even think about it, but we already have things that their primary purpose is streaming. So like you remember, going to someone's house and seeing like a full-blown radio, like an actual stereo system. Now you walk in someone's house and you see a stereo system, you should probably think they're a psychopath. Right, you don't see that. What you typically see is a whole bunch of speakers, Bluetooth speakers. What people say, you got a Bluetooth speaker, right? And it's a streaming device that's already become the norm. Like that's just normal for us now. Same thing. I talk about this all the time. If you walk in someone's house and you see like an actual physical Blu-ray player or DVD player, it's really weird, right? Like you're not used to that anymore, right? The streaming has become so normalized, and we can consume movies and we can consume music streaming right now flawlessly. But you got to remember, it wasn't always like this. I grew up when the internet was coming up, and I remember taking forever to download music off of LimeWire. I remember the dial-up. I remember downloading a movie. I remember when streaming first started, there was buffering all the time. Now, if I'm watching a movie and it starts to buffer, I get mad. I'm impatient. I don't understand why is there buffering. Even though I have 20, remember what I just said? We have 21 devices connected to the Wi-Fi here. But still, if I'm streaming something on my TV, it's going to work. It's going to work. So even with all those devices, eventually gaming will get to that point as well. It's only going to get better, guys. It's not going to stop, man. You know what I mean? I would not mind cloud being the main focus. I've already got 14 terabyte connected to my Series X, 7 terabyte to my PS5. Would like using less external drive. Yeah, I feel you. Well, I'm okay to verify. Oh, okay. Jason says, well, I'm okay. The variety ways to game. We're having a variety ways to game? Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I think we've came to that consensus though. I think all of us here just solved it. I don't think 2020 is gonna be 2027 is gonna be the end of Xbox hard console. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say there will be another console after the Series X. There are some people out there that believe in no, there won't be. I think there will be. I think there will. I also think, and I'll make this get a little bit more information, but I think because of the focus on what traditionally is viewed as winning, Xbox is winning quietly and they're not even saying it, and I think they want to keep it that way until it's too late, until people realize that, like, oh snap, no, Xbox really is the ones that are leading gaming. Xbox really are the ones that are in the best situation gaming wise. But we'll see. Because it's almost as if you see where Xbox is trying to go with the future of gaming. What is Sony trying to do? We shall see. I think Nintendo's going to stick to this strategy that they have right now, and I think it's a great strategy. They have proven that you don't have to make the most powerful console to have the best games. All they'll do is make a console that's just one step behind the current gen, so the next Nintendo Switch will be as powerful as a PS4 or Xbox One, and we'll be in awe of being able to play those games on our hands, and it'll be what it'll be. But you know what? I gotta give credit where credit is due. If you play Breath of the Wild right now, the physics in that game rival and destroy a lot of the physics in current gen games right now. That is something to be said. What by physics, I mean how everything interacts with Link. When you walk through puddles, it interacts. When he jumps in water, it interacts. When he hits a tree, it interacts. When he knocks down a tree, the way it rolls down, everything. That is incredibly impressive and gives the game another sense of realism. That is ridiculous. That's an amazing talent. So Nintendo can do more with less, so I think they're gonna be all right. Xbox is trying to get as many gamers as possible, and whatever by any means necessary. And Sony is proposing the high value, high quality experience of gaming. And so far, it almost seems like everyone's succeeding in what they want to do. That's why I think it's for us to believe that Xbox is losing, or for anyone to believe that Xbox is losing, might be just misinformation, or us not looking at things for what they really are. You know what I mean? They can all live side by side, says Jason. He's talking about the different ways to play. And then Purple says, I don't think it would be cloud gamers as the reason for Microsoft to leave console as much as it's just the economics of hardware, shrinking customer base, low profit margins, low cross-sell opportunity. Okay, Purple. I can see that. That's a good point. If it's not making money, it doesn't make sense. I like that. Bronco says, I think they are going to use King and its experience to move towards the streaming future. As he said, they were the main reason of the acquisition. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that would be the mechanism more than cloud gamers. Well, a few interesting topic points this podcast, guys. I appreciate you guys chilling with me and hanging out with me. Like I had a conversation with ISO, and I was like, "Yo, I need to hang out with my channel members, man. I can't be doing this to them." And yeah, I think 30 minutes of my day, I think I can give you guys that, especially for the loyalty that you guys have to me. So I appreciate you guys. And yeah, until the next episode, 30-minute session with Doc. Xbox dead in 2027. I don't think so. All right, guys. We out. We out. Peace.